Sunday's preseason tilt gave us a revealing, if imperfect, chapter in the Saints' quarterback competition, one that underscored how close this race really is and why Kellen Moore has a genuinely difficult decision on his hands. Both Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler had clear upsides and costly downsides, and neither did enough to end the debate. What the game did deliver was a fuller read on floor, ceiling, and temperament when each guy is under pressure, and that's the critical stuff coaches are buying into right now. Start with the raw numbers and play-by-play context. Shough opened as the starter and had stretches of competent, clean football, especially in the first half when the 2-minute sequence looked like a comfortable place for him to operate. He completed a high percentage of short to intermediate throws, showed rhythm getting the ball out quickly at times, and made a couple of nice touch passes that sustained drives. But those positives were balanced by glaring situational errors. A sack he'd probably want back, an intentional grounding that turned a manageable situation into a 3rd and 30, and some timing issues on deeper shots. Put bluntly, Show's half felt like the performance of a rookie who has good instincts and timing, but still struggles with pocket mechanics and processing when the pass rush closes quickly. Rattler, by contrast, came off the bench and produced the flashier stat line. 18 of 24 for 199 yards, a late touchdown, and a big 2-minute composure sequence to close the game. He showed the ability to stretch the field, multiple plays where his arm and timing beat single coverage, and he looked comfortable in the no-huddle and 2-minute packages. The flip side was a poorly timed interception in the red zone and a tendency to telegraph at least one throw. That pick six is the kind of play that sticks in a coach's head. It wasn't just an overthrow or a dropped pickable ball. It was a misread that led to immediate points for the defense. So what does this mean in practical evaluation terms? Coaches don't only look at box score totals. They evaluate 3 buckets: decision-making under pressure, consistent execution of the offense's core concepts, third down short yardage, red zone and clock management, and transferable traits like arm strength, mobility, and leadership. On decision-making, both quarterbacks had mistakes. Show's holding, grounding, and occasional poor pocket decisions, Rattler's pick six. On core execution, Show's conservative, efficient early work, and the 2-minute completion sequences were encouraging. Rattler's big playability and late-game execution also checked a lot of boxes. On traits, Rattler showed more comfort throwing downfield and more explosive timing, while Shough looked steadier working the middle and managing rhythm when the play was clean. One complicating variable: who they were facing. Show's struggles came when defensive pressure was stiffer, and the Jaguars starters were still partly on the field. Rattler's later reps were against backups and lighter personnel. That context matters. The who of the opponent is often used as a heuristic for how much stock to put into any given preseason performance. It doesn't negate the tape. Rattler's deep ball and late composure are real. But it does temper the conclusion that he's clearly the better NFL starter right now. What should the Saints' decision hinge on then? Consistency and turnover avoidance should be the priority. This roster's window depends on staying competitive, and turnovers kill momentum. Coaches will favor the quarterback who can give the team the fewest self-inflicted wounds while still delivering enough big plays to complement Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave. Added to that is the scheme fit, who runs Kellen Moore's timing-based system with the least mental errors. If you value a quarterback who can reliably move the offense on third down and manage the game early, Show's floor is attractive. If you prize immediate vertical juice and potential to flip contested catches into explosive plays, Rattler's ceiling is tempting. My read after this game is that Moore and the staff are still very much in evaluation mode. Rattler just gave them the sort of late-game burst and situational poise, the 2-minute drive and the timing throws that make a coach feel like the quarterback can win a football game in the clutch. Shough, however, showed enough control, timing, and short to intermediate accuracy that he remains a viable candidate if he cleans up holding the ball and avoids mental errors. Practically, the Saints should continue the process approach. Don't rush to a Week 1 declaration based on one game. Keep rotating both in high-leverage scripted packages over the next preseason week while leaning on practice tape. Third down, 11 on 11s, red zone reps, and live clock management scenarios. Give Shough more reps against starting fronts to test his pocket mechanics, and give Rattler controlled reps where his deep ball and improvisational feel can be evaluated without risk. If forced to pick now, the safer short-term choice might be Shough for his steadier ball security. The bolder choice is Rattler for his upside. Both routes are defensible, but right now the smart move for New Orleans is to buy another week of tape and let the preseason's final reps and perhaps training camp walkthroughs tip the balance. Lastly, remember that preseason scouting is probabilistic. Neither man will be perfect. What matters is who makes fewer critical mistakes and who best improves between now and week 1. The Saints need a quarterback who can elevate the offense consistently, and both Shough and Rattler gave them reasons to hope and reasons to be cautious. Tyler Shough's start and Spencer Rattler's relief outing made this QB competition feel exactly like what it is: messy, imperfect, and still wide open. Here's a tight read on what happened, what it means, and what the Saints should be weighing as they close camp. Shough flashed some positives, but also reminded you why the evaluation isn't simple. He had a few clean completions and moved the offense into manageable situations, including a field goal drive, but he also had moments of poor footwork and decision-making, a sack that turned into 3rd and 30, an intentional grounding penalty, and a couple throws that were either late or mislocated. Those plays aren't just ugly on a stat sheet. They cost rhythm and field position and show a rookie who still needs to polish fundamentals under pressure: timing on drops, pocket presence, and a faster trigger when the rush arrives. The Olave drop erased a high-value conversion, but the bigger issue was inconsistency in delivering on structure and timing when the offense needed it. Rattler's day was cleaner and flashier in stretches. He produced a big DPI to set up field position, uncorked an eye-catching 45-yard sideline shot, and finished with solid numbers: 18 of 24, 200 yards, a late TD. The pick six and the earlier fumble were glaring errors, but the late 2-minute touchdown and conversion showed poise and the ability to make clutch plays. Against mainly backup defenders, he looked sharper than Shough at operating rhythm offense, making downfield throws and hitting aggressive windows. That said, a QB who telegraphs in the red zone or delivers a gift interception raises legitimate red flags. Turnovers are the quickest way to derail any argument for starting. What the Saints should prioritize: consistency, ball security, and situational competency. If you're Kellen Moore, you want a starter who minimizes negative plays while still moving the offense and threatening vertically. Rattler currently offers better deep ball timing and short area precision. Shough gives some early starter traits, comfort in structure, but needs cleaner mechanics and quicker processing under pressure. Practical path forward: keep both in heavy live reps this week. Force them into the exact moments you'll see in week 1. 3rd and long, red zone reads, 2-minute sequences, and play action under pressure. The difference maker won't be one highlight, but a body of situational performance and turnover avoidance. Short-term projection: Rattler probably widened the gap with this outing, especially after delivering a 2-minute TD. But nothing's settled. Turnover issues for both, and Shough's ceiling mean this race will come down to who's cleaner, more reliable, and who executes the coach's system in the pressure reps over the next 10 days.